Is somebody going to get fired in the NFL? I think the answer to that is yes. Let's take a close look at a team that has been bad for a long time. Remember when Matt Millen was the executive for the Detroit Lions and all the fans would wear paper bags? They couldn't win games. They may have had a winless season, but I don't think so. They may have had a 0-16 season, certainly a 1-15, some 2-14s. They've just been horrible. They then said, it's changing now. We are bringing in Matt Patricia. He is from the Bill Belichick coaching tree. He is a defensive whiz, a mastermind. Our fortunes change now. Everyone was excited. Matt Patricia takes the microphone. It's a new day in Detroit. It's a new era. Well, that era is off to a 9-24 start. Yes, they do have a tie. They have lost 4 straight games with a double-digit lead. They have a defense that absolutely stinks, which is the one thing when you're the owner of the Lions that you think you're curing by bringing in Matt Patricia. I wonder why some coaches off a coaching tree don't work and some other coaches do. Now, Matt Patricia has one thing going for him. Odds makers have Adam Gase as the most likely to be fired right now, followed by Dan Quinn of the Falcons after that abomination with the onside kick, where his owner even called him out. Matt Patricia's 6-1. If you can find a place to bet, I'd lay 6-1 on Patricia. Because when you're the Lions owner, you have to realize that it maybe wasn't about Matt. It was about Belichick. It maybe wasn't about Matt. It was about the New England personnel. It wasn't about Matt. It was about the fact that we're having a hard time fielding a team with anyone who's an above average player. When do you make that decision? I've got a lot of experience in when to fire people. Sometimes I've been right. Sometimes I've been wrong. The Lions are in a situation where I have a solution for them. I'm firing Matt Patricia, and I'm bringing in a coach who no one's heard of, not from a coaching tree. I'm bringing in a coach who I interview, who is heavy on analytics, who works closely with a personnel guy or a girl, person, and I am staying completely out of the way as an owner of that team. I am going to, again, ask for a reset from my fans and from my sponsors. I'm not waiting for this season to end on the hope that Matt Patricia will somehow change in the last 14 games. The reality is he has not worked out as a head coach. Not every defensive guru coordinator works out. Adam Gase was a great offensive coordinator with Manning. Bite the bullet. Don't wait. Stand up in front of your fan base and say, listen, I was wrong. Own it. Don't blame Matt Patricia. Don't blame your head of player personnel. Blame yourself. I was seduced by the Patriots like we all are in the NFL. We look at their level of success and we want to believe it has nothing to do with Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick or Tom Brady. We want to believe that if we bring in anyone who's touched it, anyone who's felt it or witnessed it, that they will be able to come in and they will be able to make the difference. That's why we hired him. Seduced by the Patriots. No more. We want to be seduced by success that we have here in Detroit. Copycat is a big thing in sports. When you want a manager who is a disciplinarian, because that works, you hire a disciplinarian. When that voice is no longer being heard, you hire a cream puff. When that voice is no longer hard enough, you go back to disciplinarian. When there's a successful team, you look for his assistant coaches, his bench coach, his coordinators. That is how we've always done it. Maybe it's over. Maybe there's a bunch of qualified individuals who don't have jobs right now with any league. Maybe it's possible to bring in someone completely off the beaten path. If you are the Detroit Lions, you know you've already fired Jim Caldwell, who, by the way, was 8 games over. You know that you have not had any sort of Super Bowl success. Coca, have the Lions won the Super Bowl? I think the answer to that is no. I don't recall them ever winning the Super Bowl in the last 50 some odd years. When's the last time the Lions were in the Super Bowl? I literally can't even remember that. What do you have to lose? Be the change that you claim you want. Then you can turn around and say, you know what? We have not been doing good business. But don't worry, Matt. It was nothing personal.